What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Kendall K. Howard. I'm back. This is the first episode of Supper and Cinema. So, if you saw my introduction video, this is basically a movie review show. But it's not just your average movie review show. It comes with food. Not for you all, but for me. I'm starving right now, actually. And on my way here, I accidentally held the bag the wrong way, and the the what's it called? The gold box was tilted in the bag. Everything didn't spill. Some of it did, but I got most of it here. What I'm eating today is from Bourbon N Toulouse, which is kind of like New Orleans, Louisiana style restaurant. That's my Louisiana impersonation, I guess. So what I have here today is Southwest of Touffet, whatever that is, with crawfish. I had ate this place before, real good. Now some of y'all may look at it like, ugh, what is that? Like, it looks nasty. Try it. It's real good. And from what I saw from the menu, they make a lot of their stuff with some organic products as well, which is real good. Essentially, you're eating good, but this is not necessarily the most healthy food. But it's my cheat day, so I don't care. I'm gonna eat, and I am starving. I put some green hot sauce on top of it as well, just to spice it up just a little bit. But yeah. So hold on, let me take a little bite. Like I said, I am hungry. I haven't ate since 3 o'clock or something, and it's 9. Usually I eat every 4 hours. Try to at least. Because I am hungry. Ooh, look at that. Look delicious, boy. Mm-hmm. Take me a little bite. Lord have mercy. All right, I'm being extra. But anyways, the movie I'm reviewing today is Bad Boys for Life. Now, I know I'm a little bit late on review, but the show just started. So, who cares? I'm going to review it anyways. I saw it this morning. Some of you may have seen it already. I was thinking about doing a spoiler review, but I'm the type of guy who don't like spoilers, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you all. Just go see it, and we'll see after the end of the review. Should you go see it? You should go see it. But so yeah, if you're not familiar with the Bad Boys series, I'm gonna take another bite. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try not to eat as much during the show. I'm gonna eat a little bit just for the theme of the show, but God, I am hungry, guys. It came with bread as well. So, like I was saying, the movie Bad Boys for Life. If you're not familiar with the Bad Boys series, have you been living under a rock? This is the third installment in the series. I think the last one came out 2002, I believe. It was a while ago. Let me see, Bad Boys. I think it came out like 2002, yeah. So, it's been almost 20 years since the last one. So, what has Mike Lowry and Marcus, I forgot his last name, what have they been up to? Same old, same old. I actually came into this film a little bit late. Probably been like the first couple of minutes or so, like 3 minutes. I really didn't miss much because I came in still at the beginning of the movie. But when I came in, it was they was in a bar. This is all exposition. This is not really any spoilers. It's not gonna ruin your experience. But they was in the bar celebrating. Marcus was contemplating retirement. And if you follow the series, it's something that Marcus was already talking about even in the last movie in Bad Boys 2. And Mike, being Mike, and just playing off the fact that Martin Lawrence is not in shape anymore, and Will Smith still is, and the movie played up on that a lot throughout the film, and Mike still not wanting to give up, and of course there is a love interest, as Mike Lowry is known to have many love interests throughout the series. This one, her name is Rita, who's actually a part of the police force, played by what's her name? I don't want to butcher her name. Paola Nunez, Paola, for my Hispanic people out there who would know how to properly pronounce that. Don't want to butcher that, but Paola Nunez, that's a new love interest in this film. And like I said, Mike didn't want to give up the police force, and Mark is now having a son, even at old age, and his daughter is getting married in the film. He's contemplating retirement. So they get out, and they get outside, and they over just like betting each other on this race, and Mike gets attacked by this new villain in the movie, played by Armando Aretes. Well, actually, no, that's the name of the film. His name in the film is Armando Aretes, but he's played by Jacob Sapio. Uh, and this guy is basically he's avenging his father's death. He works with his mother, played by whose name is Isabel, played by Kate Del Castillo. It's a lot of different names there. I don't want to butcher it. I'm trying to pronounce it the best I can. So they taking over Miami in the drug business. But he's more so worried about he ain't worried about the drug money that comes with it. He's more so worried about getting revenge. What the revenge is for, we find out later in the film. I'm not gonna tell you. You go see it for yourself. But he basically goes out on a big mission to take out a bunch of law enforcement in Miami. By hitting like he whacks off a judge, he whacks off a forensic scientist, he whacks off a lawyer, a judge. No, I already said a judge, but he whacks off some people. And Mike is one of the people that he tries to kill. But I guess this is not really a spoiler because, like I said, this is not really a spoiler. Mike survives, so he gets shot in the beginning of the film, and from that point on, you have this film going about Mike trying to avenge his shooting because this guy. So this guy ends up finding all these people miraculously. He ends up finding all these people through Google searches and just searching. Like the movie does a good job of like just it. What it does is basically it kind of makes Will Smith and Martin Lawrence look like the old people because there's a lot of stuff in here that is relative to today, where you see like the new technology that is used. Like this guy, he finds all these people through, like I said, Google searches, and you see him like going to the computer and like finding people and like seeing where they at. Which is kind of like cool, I guess, if you would look at it, because it's like that's stuff people actually do today. Like you can find people and like see where they at and like notice patterns and stuff, and they play up on that a lot. Not only with the villain, but with this new unit in the distinct. I guess the distinct. I don't know. I guess whatever they call the cop law enforcement. I guess the unit with them, ammo, which is led by Rita, and it comprises of Vanessa Hudgens, who plays this character named Kelly. Who's like a badass. Then you have Alexander Ludwig, who plays this guy named Dorn, big muscular guy, but he's the tech geek of the group, and they play up on that a lot too. And Charles Melton, who plays Rafe. I never heard them say his name in the movie, so I could be butchering that name too. I'm sorry, but you go see the film anyways. So, and he's kind of like the little cool guy. He starts off like a little snarky little guy. He bites at he chomps at the bit and like just talk smack to Will Smith's character for a little bit at the beginning. So they, like I said, they use a bunch of new technology, using surveillance and drones throughout the film. There's new ways to attack criminals and stuff, kind of like stuff that you see today with some law enforcement people. I'm gonna eat again. Hold on, I'm sorry. Like I said, I am hungry. Crawfish, boys, look at that. Yeah, wipe my mouth. I don't want to look too disgusting to y'all. Some of y'all be like, ugh. I don't watch you eat. You still watching. But anyways, so yeah. So we go throughout the film. Mike is trying to avenge his shooting. And Marcus's character is like, I'm done with this. Because Mike ends up being in the hospital for some months. And Marcus, in that meantime, he retires. His daughter does get married. And he's like, I'm done. He ends up retiring. And Mike ends up going by himself. And like I said, they eventually get back together. And they end up going on this raid trying to find this guy. So there is, like, throughout the film is shot in Miami. You could tell by the way it's shot, too. It does a good job of giving you that sense of that Miami feel with the way it is shot. You get a sense of that nightlife, Ocean Drive, the women there, Ocean Drive, the nice cars, Ocean Drive. The reason why I say that, because there are a lot of shots, at least at the beginning, in the middle of the film, of them being on Ocean Drive. And I get it. Ocean Drive is a very popular spot in Miami. But Miami's a big city. There's other spots in Miami, and they end up showing it throughout the film, like later on. And there are some other spots they do hit up on. But Ocean Drive was like the main place that they stayed at throughout the beginning of the film. But it's still cool looking. You can tell Michael Bay did not direct this film. Michael Bay directed the first two films. Um, and you can tell by the way this is shot because if you know Michael Bay's directing style, Michael Bay has like, and it works in some instances, but he would have like this. He'll shoot things close, and sometimes you can't tell what's going on, and like use a lot of glaring effects with the way he shoots with cameras. Um, you can tell by the way this is shot. And this movie is directed by I guess their brothers, Adil and Bilal, who I think did a good job. There was, however, I don't know for some reason, there was a point in the film where it was a shot and it was funny because it was like it was if it was coming from an angle like say I'm right here, like the shot was like a bird's eye view shot and it zoomed in on Martin Lawrence's character on Marcus and he was like he said he just cussed himself he said and like it zoomed in it was a weird just random shot. I don't know why, but it made me laugh. It was just the way it was and in the context of which that scene was going on. It was funny. I don't know. But like I said, you could tell that it was not shot by Michael Bay. A lot of people get on Michael Bay by the way he shoots some of his things. And as an older guy, being a fan of Transformers, I see what people are talking about. But I still enjoy his film, especially Transformers. That's still one of my favorite franchises. Maybe because I grew up on it. But anyways, take another bite. I hate this for it gets cold, y'all. I don't want to, talk too much and let this get cold. All right, and let this sit here for a little bit. The smell was getting to me. So I got to eat just some. Just let me eat a little bit, y'all. Just eat a little bit. Y'all can take a little break. It's not going to be that long. Hold on. Anyways, back to the film. So, yeah. So, those are kind of like the main point, like that's the exposition of the film, the plot of this film so far. Now, as far as like anything negative, because granted, I had a great time actually watching this movie. Like I said, I saw this morning in the matinee, and I had a good time seeing this movie. And there's been a lot of like positive reviews for this movie around different film critics, and I see why. Because and I heard Will Smith talking when he was with Martin Lawrence and it was on the Breakfast Club saying that like people been asking this film for years. Like I said, the last film was like 2002. That was like 18 years ago. And Will Smith said he didn't want to do the film unless it was done right. And I feel like with this film, this was done right. Like the script wasn't bad. It was decent writing. Like I said, the way it was shot, it was good. There's some cool action scenes throughout the film. A lot of them with Will Smith. Eventually, Martin Lawrence getting to the action, a little bit later because if you know, like I said, the Bad Boys series, Mark is like Martin Lawrence's character. He plays up on his religious beliefs and his meditation a lot. And they do that in this film, especially with him being retired. So he goes into a state where he's like, I don't want to do no violence, this and that, especially after seeing Mike getting shot. So eventually he gets a part of the action too, and they do some cool stuff with him too. But a lot of the action stuff comes with Will Smith and his character, and it's like some cool fight scenes, and it goes back to what I said earlier. You could tell that Michael Bay did not shoot this because, like I said, it would be more close up, but you could see the full fights. I think the fights was pretty good. Some of the stuff they did a lot of stuff with motorcycles as well. There's a bunch of motorcycle chases throughout the streets of Miami, which I thought was pretty cool. Did some good slow motion shots with some stuff, like especially there was one point where the guy picked up a grenade and like slowed down with it. It was some good stuff with that. So overall, I think the action and like just the way this film was, it was fun. There was a scene, so they eventually Marcus and Mike have to pair up with Ammo. Like I said, they're like this new young people around. Like I said, they play up on them being older. And at first he is reluctant to work with them. But he acts as if he didn't know what was going on at first. But they do like this thing that kind of contradicts the whole entire premise of that. Because there was a scene later on in the film where he asked Dorn to like pull up something on the phone. And then he tells him to go away, and he ends up going through the phone and like search through the database and know like how to like do it himself, which was kind of confusing because maybe I don't know, maybe I misunderstood it or maybe I missed something. I didn't miss something, but like the way he came in there initially, it made it seem as if he didn't know what was going on and like what they was doing and how they was doing it. But then they transition to this scene later where all of a sudden he knows what he was doing. Like he was like searching through and he ends up sending this text and stuff, blah blah blah. Which I mean, it's not too much of like hang to like really like pounce on and like talk about a lot, but it's just something that I noticed. Um, so yeah, the banter between Mike and Marcus is funny. Like I said, Marcus's character is playing up on more of their religious belief and like saying that he don't want to do no more violence. And like Mike at first, being pissed off at the fact that like I just got shot. Like you gonna have to do this with me. Like you just gonna like be a quitter. There was even, he even goes to the point of putting Marcus's name in his phone, quitter, all caps, which is kind of funny too. But the band between them two is funny. There's a lot of little funny jokes I think that Martin Lawrence gives off. I think him and Will Smith's chemistry is real good throughout the film. I mean, it's obvious because like they've been doing this film for as long as I've been alive. so so we see that throughout the film. And like I said, there are some funny scenes that we see between them, even from like the very beginning to the middle point and to the end. Like just throughout the film, I think they do a very good job. Even in intense moments, some calm moments, like they go hand in hand in this film, and I appreciated that. So yeah, I mean that's a quick little review. Like I said, I had a good time watching this film. I think if you're just going in not expecting like the most sophisticated thriller, cause this label is a thriller. If you're not going in expecting like the most sophisticated type film, like action film, then this should be the film for you because it's a good movie to go see. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Had a good time with, like I said, from the action to the comedy, from the way it was shot. I think it was a good film. So I've been contemplating like how I'm gonna do this rating system. I was thinking about probably doing something different, but I haven't got there yet. We might do some. We might do a different rating system. We might. But my thoughts on the film, I'm gonna do just a basic 10 ranking system, like out of 10 ranking system. I give this film a 7 out of 10. I give it's like I said, I had a good time, good action in the film, enjoyed it thoroughly. There was some points, like I said, that was like kind of contradicting, but like I said, it was a good little action film in Miami. It was Bad Boys for Life. Like, I had a great time. So, yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. For Supper and Cinema. Thank y'all for choosing to watch me and watch me eat a little bit and talk about this film. So, if you excuse me, I am going to finish my food. Yeah. Peace out.